Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out something called Super Cell Dungeon by developers Ruben Sario, Arturo Martin with music by Roll Music. This is a game that was designed for the hashtag NES Jam, so it's a game jam game, and it's designed to also kind of be a clone of Super Crate Box, a game that I really like a whole bunch. And I've played a little bit of it, and it's really fun, so I figured, hey, let's show it off. It's not super spooky or anything, unfortunately. Well, I mean, it's a little spooky. I mean, look at the bat eyes and the darkness there on the title screen. But it's got a really cool retro pixel aesthetic, fantastic soundtrack, and it's very playable, and also a local co-op game, so if you have a friend to bring along, you can get down with some Super Crate Box NES style with your friends. So let's check out the setup menu real quick. This is a super early version, by the way, so things are not entirely done. There's going to be some missing features, as with all things, and there may even be some bugs and such, but, what I played, I didn't run into anything. So basically all we've got here is our control setup, nothing crazy. We've got player 1 plays as an archer, player 2 plays as a mage. I think they do have some slight differences, but they kind of balance each other out, so, if you have a preference, I guess, pick which one you like, and let's do a new game. So here's our character here, the archer. You'll notice there are a few things we gotta figure out here. So we've got a UI at the top. We've got a sort of what looks like a depleting Mega Man style health bar almost, only, horizontally oriented. And what that is actually not health, because everything is one-shot kills in this game. That is actually just your level bar. And what's happening with that is it's always decreasing to try and encourage the player to always be in search of these elixirs. And as with Super Crate Box, you want to make sure the Skelemen don't end up in the fire or they become super powerful strong Skelemen and they get double as fast. But what you've probably noticed as I was playing there is as I leveled up, I went from one shot right here, which is not super damaging, to we'll actually have multiple shots and we can continue to improve our ability to fight enemies, and you'll notice there's, a little bit of a variety here. I'm not sure if things get more and more chaotic as we go, or if it sort of reaches a plateau and then you just gotta keep yourself in check. But it is harder than it looks. If you've played Super Crate Box, it does look like it's a pretty simple, accessible game. But the more you play it, the more you kind of come to appreciate that the chaos level is very high, and it's difficult to keep yourself in control of the situation at all times, especially when you end up with a bunch of enemies that have gotten to the fire and become extra fast and extra powerful. I'm not sure what it does to the ogres up there, but I kind of am curious. I'm sure it'll happen eventually. You'll see my crossbow's actually been upgraded to level 3, well, it was anyway, before I de-leveled. I guess level 6 is the tipping point for that. I'll try and get a little distance if I can, and see if I can make it. Oh, geez. Yeah, I was going to try and jump out of that, but I didn't quite make it. I was going to try and get some distance from it, make my crossbow maybe even better than level 3. I haven't seen anything past that point yet. Also, my jumping skills are not fantastic, so, I have to kind of rely on sometimes using a double jump to get me out of a tricky spot. And I believe the wizard, instead of double jumping, has like a hover move, so, they both have something cool going on. I also like that the skeletons are balanced in... Oh, man, I thought I was faster. The skeletons are balanced in just such a way that when you have a level 2 crossbow, they die in one shot. There's also, as you've probably noticed, coins coming out everywhere, and they're very satisfying to pick up, but as far as I can tell, I don't really know what they do right now. They may do something in a future version of the game. Maybe right now that version, or that feature has not been implemented just yet. Let's see if I can, hop the fire there. What I'm hoping for is sort of Super Crate Box style. It'll allow you to, purchase new stages, or upgrades, or cosmetic changes, or something like that. As for now, though, not really sure. Very curious, though, to see where this goes, because I'm actually really having a fun time with this. I find that the Super Crate Box formula... Oh, I didn't realize return is actually enter to pause the game. But yeah, I kind of find that in general this formula works really well, and pretty much every time I've encountered it, it's been fun. So maybe more developers need to clone Super Crate Box. I don't really see harm in it. The whole premise is really fun by itself, and I'm sure there's plenty of other directions you could take it into. I would sort of love to see something like this with like a adversarial combat system where maybe you're competing to charge each other up, sort of like a MOBA or something, where you want to try and defeat the creeps as much as possible to get stronger to then fight your enemies. Sort of like, I guess, Towerfall has a similar premise to it in that respect, only minus the powering up part. But it would be neat if these guys were relegated to, instead of just being, you know, constant cannon fodder that kills you, or, you know, maybe it could kill you as well, maybe these guys just become sort of like background noise while you're trying to avoid and fight your adversary who you happen to be playing against. I would also love to see one of these games get some online co-op, but I'm also aware that that is a big ask, and not everybody has the capabilities of doing such a thing. I really appreciate, too, that it's a super accessible experience. You know, you don't really need to know much of anything beyond, you know, up is jump and alt is attack, and you can always change those controls as well, and I'm sure there will be, if not already, you know, some gamepad controls for this, too, because it would be super easy to map, even if it's not done now. I could always do it in Joy to Key. And the music, though, like, I haven't said it enough, I am loving the soundtrack to this, and I would absolutely be into listening to some more. I need to maybe talk to this musician about making some music for my channel, actually, because I really, really like it. I wanted to get, like, a super high level here, but it's really tricky. I would also love to see if there's more enemies that happen eventually. We've got skelemen, we've got ogres, we've got bats, but is there something beyond that? I would figure probably eventually. Oh, there's a little graphic. Did you see that? When you de-level, it kind of plays like a little white blurb thing above my head. I'm not really even sure what to call it, just a little bubble. There it is again. This looks like all of my hopes and dreams dissolving into thin air. A little bit more. It's really great when I can destroy these ogres in like 1 or 2 shots, because they are pretty tough and tanky. Getting myself trapped here. There's bats coming down in every direction. Those skelemen are going to make it through to the fire, and those ones fell on my head. Apparently there is a point where eventually... Oh, you know what it is? I bet it's the coins. I read somewhere that if you get to a certain point that you get an extra life, and I thought it was like a reset before, but the music didn't reset, but I think what it was I actually got to like 99 coins or something, and maybe that gives me an extra life, so I was able to keep going. But it all happened so fast I didn't even recognize it. I should mention also that I believe there's 2 stages as of this moment, but I think they just maybe randomly show up. I'm not sure if you have to pick them or anything. So in Super Crate Box, you would unlock them by playing more and more, and the higher you get your combo, the more, or combo as in, like, kills, the more worlds unlocked, and there were more and more difficult ones as you went forward. And as of this moment, I think the 2 levels, if there are 2 levels, are just kind of different variations on the same, you know, color scheme and theme. So it would be neat to see some different stuff, and maybe even some, like, permanent upgrade stuff added to this, if that's in the developers' plans. I think right now we're at, like, a version 0.2, so, you know, very early stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if the vast majority of plans have not yet been implemented. And you see that? We actually had a heart. I didn't even notice it in the top menu. I've been so busy focusing on my character and running back and forth, I didn't even notice that when I got to 100 coins, I actually gained a heart there, which is an extra life. So now we know. That's a new gameplay mechanic that I am now made aware of. And my apologies if anyone was screaming at your monitor while you were watching me do that. It's often a little bit trickier than people anticipate to be able to continuously talk and also play a game that requires you to be fairly accurate in what you're doing and try not to mess up, you know, and just keep having stuff to say. But I've said that in a couple of prior episodes, so I don't need to harp on it again. Oh, it's so difficult when there's a bat right there. It's, like, really tough to get into that spot. I'm gonna try and maybe just do a quick run where I completely disregard, like, almost every enemy and just make a beeline right for the potion jars. Maybe that'll help me out. Or flasks, I guess you should call them. Oh, come on. I freaking landed right under him as he fell. I mean, it's good that we have something to drive for, though, with the coins and trying to get to an extra life, but it's like, man, it's so easy to mess up. But, you know, that is the appeal and the charm of games like this. They're, you know, easy to play, tough to master, and that's totally cool. There's a huge market for stuff like that out there, and I wish there were more. Oh, I got to the max. I'm at level 9, and it doesn't seem to upgrade beyond that. So, yeah, okay, so I'm just maxing out my stats there. What would be really sweet is if it sort of just kept going in terms of, like, your bar kept filling, even though it wasn't showing it on the screen, so it just took longer and longer for you to de-level from 9. But as of this moment, it seems like you've just always got to be on the move, no matter how far you want to go with things. But, you know, I guess that's another way to look at it, too. So I guess at this point, what is my motivation to continue? I just want to try and get the most points possible. There's this little key also in the background. Do you see that behind in the center here? I wonder if maybe if you reach a certain point in the game, if you actually, like, will get an enemy that drops a key. And maybe that's your way to get to the next world. That would be super fun, actually, if maybe there were occasional drops that did super special things. Maybe get some other weapons involved. I don't know. That's the Super Crate Box clone thing kicking up again. As far as this concept goes, though, super positive things to say, as I'm sure you could probably tell already. I love the visuals, I love the sound, I love the gameplay style. It's already been proven. The execution here, really well done. The game feels good to play, it looks good to play. It's, you know, basically everything is where it needs to be already, minus just adding more content, so I have nothing to complain about whatsoever. Just give me more and I'll play more. So with that, I suppose I'll wrap up our video for Supercell Dungeon. You can't even leave. Even if I want to, I can't go back to the main menu. I think it just loops back into itself forever. I think I have tried hitting escape. I don't think it did anything. Anyway, that's going to be it for another day, guys. If you want to check out Supercell Dungeon, go ahead and give it a download. The version that I'm playing right here is going to be available in a link in the description. It has versions for both Mac and PC, I believe, so if you want to try those out, feel free. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like on it too, because that helps me out a whole bunch. And you can come on back tomorrow. New episodes of Indie Impressions go up every single day without fail, so I look forward to bringing you another one then. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a fantastic night. Talk to you all tomorrow.